Village School and welcome to today's live newscast.
Your newscasters are James from Mr. Franny's class
And also Maria from Mr. Franny's class.
Today is Wednesday, December 22nd, 2010. It is a day 2.
Our character education thought of the day is ask all your friends how they celebrate the holidays. And now for your up-to-the-minute weather.
Today is expected to be partly sunny. The temperature right now is 28 degrees Fahrenheit. The high is expected to be 38 degrees Fahrenheit. The low this evening will be 25 degrees Fahrenheit. Tomorrow is expected to be partly sunny and breezy, with a high of 38 degrees and a low of 22 degrees.
There will be outdoor recess today. Today's lunch will be whole grain rotini with Italian meat sauce.
At this time, please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just a reminder that Thursday will be an early dismissal day.
Be sure to remind your parents.
Now for another edition of Real World Weather.
As the clock runs out, sometimes the toughest opponent isn't the other team, it's the weather. That's why some players say winning or losing depends on where you play the game. Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Greg Camarillo says the weather can determine which team plays best.
If you live in the heat and practice in the heat, it's an advantage to be in the heat.
The Vikings often practice in a climate-controlled environment to escape the frigid temperatures. But when the boys of fall are up against Old Man Winter, the game becomes a challenge just to stay warm.
When it's freezing cold, your bones feel brittle, your hands are cold, it hurts to hit, it hurts to catch the ball, your feet are freezing, ground's hard.
Many players prefer being in the heat rather than the cold.
It's easy to get your body loose.
Running back Adrian Peterson says his performance changes as the temperature drops.
I don't want to catch Green Bay when it's too cold.
Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin is home to one of the most famous football games in history.
One of the games that was really affected by cold weather back several years ago, back in 1967 actually, it was called the Ice Bowl. It was a playoff game in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
When you're sucking that cold air in, it's definitely hard to breathe.
While the cold can be brutal, playing in hot and humid places like Florida can also be dangerous.
When it's super hot, you get tired real easily, you lose all your fluids through sweating, it makes it tough.
While temperature can affect the body's performance, did you know it can also affect the footballs? Cold air is denser than warm air, and that slows the ball down. Vikings punter Chris Cluey knows it may not travel as far in Buffalo, New York, as it will in Miami, Florida.
Warm temperatures, the ball actually goes a little further because it flies better, it cuts through the air a little more.
Besides air temperature, place kicker Ryan Longwell says the distance the ball travels is also determined by a stadium's elevation. The Denver Broncos' home stadium, Invesco Field, is about a mile above sea level near the Colorado Rocky Mountains. The higher up you are, the thinner the air is, so the ball has less resistance against it.
You can hit 60-yard field goals there kind of with your normal 50-yard field goal stroke, and the ball just kind of stays in the air.
Regardless of the elevation or the temperature, Chris Cluey says if the wind isn't cooperating, the ball won't either.
In Chicago, it's coming off the lake, so it just goes everywhere. Windy days are no good, which is why I'm not a big fan of punting in Chicago.
Since weather can be unpredictable, some players say the best location for football is in a dome, where most of the time there's no weather at all. But sometimes not even a roof can help. Just ask the Minnesota Vikings. The Metrodome's roof tore following a snowstorm in 2010, forcing the Vikings to find a new stadium to finish their season. For WeatherBug, I'm meteorologist Bay Scroggins.
As you can see, weather plays a major role in just about everything we do.
Just a reminder that you still have plenty of time to enter the PTA-sponsored Invention Convention.
So if you are innovative or creative or just have a love of science, consider entering.
Forms and additional information can be found on PTA's website at www.vespta.org.
Don't forget we have our sing-along this afternoon. Bring your singing voices.
Tomorrow we will play Dr. Seuss' How the Grinch Stole Christmas All Day. It runs about 26 minutes and will play every half hour. Enjoy.
For the VES News Network, this is James signing off.
And Maria signing off.
Tune in tomorrow for another exciting edition of VES News.
Have a wacky Wednesday.
Good job. Excellent job.
All right, very good.
Yeah, because I didn't read.